Home Affairs Minister and the Border Management Authority will today brief Parliament on the 95 Libyan nationals who were arrested during a police raid at a security training facility in Mpumalanga. At the time of the arrest, the group was allegedly receiving illegal military training. They appeared at the White River Magistrates Court on charges of contravening the Immigration Act after they allegedly misrepresented themselves when applying for study visas. Charges were withdrawn and the group was officially deported to Benghazi over the weekend. An investigation into the owners of the farm is continuing. While they have been deported back to Libya, the incident raised questions about how they got into the country and what other threats to national security exist within the borders of South Africa. For some perspective on this, we are now joined by Senior Training Coordinator at the ENACT program at the Institute for Security Studies, Willem Els. Mr. Els, thank you so much for your time and for joining us this morning. Now, there have been lots of questions raised about whether the deported individuals have been adequately held accountable for their involvement in the illegal military camp. What are the legal and security considerations, knowing what we know now, that should have been taken into account when addressing cases of illegal foreign nationals engaging in unauthorized military activities within our borders?
Good morning to you. Yes, as you rightly said, there are still more questions than answers. Later today, there will be a briefing and hopefully we will get some more answers then. But currently, as it is, we see that they have been deported to Benghazi. That is actually the capital of the Haftar-dominated area and not the Tripoli-dominated area. But I think if with some hindsight, we will have to look at the involvement of Home Affairs, especially at the Tripoli consulate, where these visas have been applied for, whether it was issued there or in Pretoria, we don't know. But whenever you apply for a visa, there are certain prerequisites that have to be looked at. First of all, you have your letter of invitation, and that invitation will state the purpose of your business, where you are going to, etc., etc. And we believe that that would have been used to apply for the visas. But there's one tweak here, that if you apply for a study visa, that institution must also be accredited by the Department of Education, and we doubt whether that was the case in this case. So there might be some legal implications there, and that might be a reason why they found some discrepancies. So questions need to be asked. Who was responsible for that? Where did we slip up? Secondly, we will have to look at our intelligence fraternity. Why did they not pick it up? I mean, this is 95 people, up to 100 people, as we also heard some allegations. And also, they're from a country in conflict. To receive this type of training in South Africa, obviously it's going to raise some questions, not only inside South Africa, but also in the international domain.
And just touching on, you mentioned the fact that they applied for their visas in Tripoli, and how the situation was handled and where they were deported to. Is there anything we can look into in terms of them either going to Benghazi or Tripoli? Are there different implications as to where they go? Does it even matter?
Of course, yes. As you know, since 2014, there's been some serious troubles in Libya. We see that the recognized government currently, before it was Haftar, now it is the Tripoli government. They're only in control of the immediate vicinity of Tripoli. A very small area of Libya is under their direct control. The rest of it is under control of the Haftar grouping and some other militias, of which Haftar is currently directly in conflict with Tripoli. So if these people coming from Benghazi were deported to Tripoli, they would have been arrested, and there might have been some other implications for South Africa in terms of refugees. And if they applied for refugee status, we don't know whether they did. So that is the reason why South Africa then decided to deport them to Benghazi, back to their faction, and to avoid any embarrassment at a later stage.
And what does that then say about South Africa as a country? What precedents are we setting if we've got foreign nationals who come in on a pretense perform illegal activities, and then they are sent back to a part of their country that would give them a hero's welcome as opposed to being arrested in Tripoli?
Yeah, I think South Africa has been embarrassed in the international domain because no country would like to be seen that they do such things because in the first place it creates the impression that South Africa is supporting an opposition party or opposition militia within the country of Libya. And secondly, those people coming to South Africa, the type of training that we still have to be determined while the investigation is ongoing. And that, I believe, is going to end up in court, and then we will have some more information on that. But if it were military training, as has been suggested, then also that will raise some serious red flags for South Africa, that we use our expertise and also some imported expertise, as some of the trainers and facilitators seems to have been from other countries. That just asks the question of how are we dealing with these type of things, and do we really have the tap, and do the government have control over the training of the security industry or not?
Now, we do know that the Border Management Authority, together with the Department of Home Affairs, will be briefing South Africa a little later on this morning. What would you expect from such a briefing? What is it that they would say or lay out as a plan of action going forward that will lay the fears of South Africans at bay, and just to ensure that South Africans do trust in the security systems that exist within our borders?
Well, in the first place, I think it would be the ideal opportunity for BMA and as well as Home Affairs to take ownership, to admit where they went wrong, but also to lay out the way forward and how they're going to rectify the situation in order to create a safer environment for us in South Africa.
Lastly, Willem, just in terms of setting a precedence in terms of handling future cases, because we do know that there is another suspected case of a military camp that exists in Limpopo. What policy recommendations would you suggest in terms of ensuring a swift and effective response to such incidences in the future?
In the first place, we have to look at the role of SIRA. As we know that we've got more than 500,000 registered security officials in South Africa, and all of them need training. They need to be registered by SIRA, and their training institutions need to be registered by SIRA. Their curriculums need to be registered by SACETA, etc. So clearly, it seems to me that we need a civilian oversight there. Because SIRA, at the end of the day, they report to the police. The Minister of Police also have to monitor them. But clearly, we dropped the ball here, and we would like to suggest that we look at more proper civilian oversight, maybe in Parliament or in other places where we can actually keep a tab on them to make sure they are doing a good job, but to ensure that they actually do a better job and to keep us safe.
All right, we certainly are looking forward to that address a little later on. Thank you so much for your inputs this morning.